I'm joined in studio now by Regina Revazova. She is a producer with a program called Open Conversations. It's a fascinating story. Regina, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Dan.
Well, this is really fascinating. I was introduced to you by a good friend of ours. Tell me what Open Conversations is all about.
So basically, I've been working in the news industry for a number of years, and what always fascinated me was personal narratives of the people that would come to the studio, and I would bring them as a producer. And I've been a couple of years ago, I started thinking, how do you approach people that are not quite, I call it filtered, because we'll constantly bring to media people that are acquaintances or list of trusted sources, et cetera, et cetera. Well, how do you approach strangers and ask to, hey, can you tell me what's going on in your life? And so I've tried to volunteer in different places on my days off, and it never quite worked out as well as when I started. Someone suggested me, why don't you sign up for the rideshare companies? It's a nice way to, keep yourself busy sometimes and after work, and also maybe you will succeed in what you want to do. So it worked. It took me maybe a couple of days to get used to the idea that strangers would get in my car all the time. But then people started opening up. I would start asking questions, and I was just a cab driver, and I would not say what I do or what I do that for. And then as soon as I heard the first narrative in my car that had beginning and the middle and the end, I said, hey, would you mind coming over to studio? This is what I do, but I'm not sure where it's going yet. It was about a year ago. Okay. Can we do it in the studio? Would you like to be recorded? And 99% of people say yes.
Well, it's really kind of interesting because people want to tell their story. So here you are, you're driving a cab and a rideshare, as you mentioned, and people are opening up into you, open conversations, as it were. And so you're able to take that, move into the studio, and get some really interesting conversations from people.
That is correct, Nan. Yeah. And what is also amazing is that how many different lifestyles people lead who might live right across the street from you. Or, things that I learned about the community I live and work in, it's just fascinating. I never knew that there's a porn studio right next to the, station I work for. Things like that, you don't know, and no one knows.
It's fascinating. One thing my mother used to always say, it takes all kinds of people to make a world. And you're meeting these people in the back of your cab. Now, I understand that your program's actually been picked up by NPR, National Public Radio. That's fascinating.
That is correct. It's NPR member station in Phoenix, and I look forward to having my content on more stations. And right now we're putting together a website, and the podcast will be on Stitcher, on iTunes as well. And yeah, I look forward to growing the audience and listenership, and looking forward to attract more investors and advertisers as well.
Well, fantastic. Can people get more information at openconversations.com?
Yes, right now it's in the development stage, but I believe in a couple of weeks we'll be done with it.
Well, check this out at openconversations.com. Regina, this is a fascinating program, kind of a light note in our program here. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for your time.